Hi everyone, I hope you're at home and safe and healthy. Today I'm going to once again introduce a craft that you can use with items that you have at home. I love to decoupage. I think it's a great form of creativity, and it's also an opportunity to reuse items that you have at home. So let me introduce the items that you'll need and then some of the processes and things that you can decoupage that you have already at your home. The first thing you're going to need is something called Mod Podge. This is gloss. I think they do make a flat finish. You will, if you don't have Mod Podge, then you can take a white glue consistency. You want to test that. I usually start with something that's maybe a third of the way full here with Mod Podge, and then might add a tablespoon of water and mix that up. I don't want it to be thin, but I also want it to be Mod Podge consistency. So it was white glue and water, just a mixture, make sure it's not too thin. I also need a container. I'm going to need either a foam brush or a bristle brush. Either one will do as well. The foam brushes are obviously disposable. I'm going to need my items, whatever that I choose to decoupage. We'll discuss that in a moment. I'm also going to need my resources. How am I going to get the transfer on there? What kind of transfer? So you can use, this is sheet music that I've tea stained. This napkin is actually the picture frame that I decoupaged that has my sister in it, and this one as well. This floral napkin, the result is this marbled finish on this container. That's a floral, a gray floral. This is a napkin for a birthday party, and there's the result of that one. And then this is wrapping paper that I had already at the house, and you can see that I've cut some of it out already. Now, if you look at the containers once again, and the items that you can decoupage anything. You can decoupage the underside of a clear glass dish and make it highly decorative, seasonal, and allow you to still use the top of the surface for food service, obviously hand wash. You can decoupage picture frames, as you can see here. These are just containers. This one happens to be a crushed pineapple container. I also painted the top of this with chalk paint and added this cording or roping that I had. Actually, that's leather. So this one is a can of peas. And obviously I wanted to make sure that this surface didn't cut anyone, so I put the ribbon on there. Hindsight, I might have used a different ribbon, but I do like this image on there. This would be great for pencils, for anything that you've got that you just need some quick storage for. This is a Stax potato chip container. I kind of like it. It's different. This would be great for your cut flowers, your long stem cut flowers, just as a quick little vase. You can also put some rocks or marbles in the bottom of this. That would make it a little bit more stable. And then again, as I said, the picture frame I decoupaged with this napkin years ago. So all we need to do is first decide what our resource is. What's our paper resource? If it's a napkin, then I want you to know, and you probably already know this, but if it's a napkin, these paper napkins, even as thin as they are, have two pieces. You're going to separate the two pieces. And we'll discard the other part. So this is the part that I would use to decoupage. I actually cut this one in strips, long strips, and decoupaged in this direction. This is random. This is the easiest way to do it, especially if you want a quick result. Now, by the way, this one has two pieces to it, so you have to separate it. This napkin also, two pieces, so you would have to separate and discard the second layer. The one that we're going to be working on today is made out of the wrapping paper. And so what I've done is I've cut out some of the flower images on the wrapping paper. And I have taken this water jug. Let me move this back a little bit. I have cut the top off, and if you know me, you know that I like to upcycle everything. So now I have this to determine what to do with it. I'm sure I'll find a little project for it. If nothing else, it's a great funnel at this point. And you can see that I've already started. Now, I'm not sure I like the indentation of this particular container, but I probably will actually put a flower pot down in there and use this as just the exterior pot that people would see. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of Mod Podge out. And I'm going to use the bristle brush. And I'm just looking at placement. I want to saturate my brush with the Mod Podge. I'm going to paint heavily. Apply my image. And again, over the top. I'm taking the side of my brush and I'm actually going in those grooves. Because as much as I may not like those grooves, actually they should hold better by going in those grooves. And then I'm just going to extend over. I've seen images, and please pull it up on the internet because there's some beautiful items that have been Mod Podge. But furniture, many years ago I had a filing cabinet that I had Mod Podged vintage clothing patterns on. So it was a good use of that paper, and I like to sew, so it worked out perfect. I'll keep layering. Let's do one more piece. As you can see from down here, this is a clear coat. It's waterproof. This is like a waterproof surface after this point. Sometimes they move on you. Maps, very cool. This will need to dry overnight. When I was doing a demonstration one at my home, I let it just dry overnight. Because you look at it and think, there's no way that's going to be pretty. But if you let it dry overnight, you can see that's kind of pretty. Okay, so again, decoupaging is the art of layering of either paper or fabric. I didn't even mention fabric. You can decoupage with fabric. So if you had an item at home that you wanted to spruce up, had not access to any decorative paper, then feel free to pull out the fabric. A light cotton fabric would work very well. So this is our decoupage item. You can cut that, you can rip these pieces apart, however you choose. And again, you can also use the white glue. So if you need that for the finished item, there you go. Keep crafting.